So I had just come off that meeting with Sean. Some time went on. We didn't really do much with it. We were just kind of keeping in close contact, but I was in the background developing this thing. And I was like, yeah, cool, man. Leave me some time to design it. I had told him, like, leave me, a couple months or something to like figure out some design stuff. And, I had all these ideas rattling in my head about how I wanted to see this thing come to life and what chart raiders would be. And I just, it's 2021, a couple months pass by. I'm starting to put all the pieces together. I'm really theory crafting this thing every day. And I decide to have my first esports event because I always knew esports was going to be the pillar of everything. Like esports would be the pillar of what Chart Raiders is. So back in late 2021, I recognized that esports would be the future of day trading. And then I remember doing this kind of event, and it was very old school, very like just brutal rock style, D&D character sheets mixed with like an NFL game tournament style tree. And it was just this like really Band-Aid put together esports event. So I had all this rule set with this like D&D style sheet that I had. And after that had been completed, I made a tournament. I picked a bunch of people in the community to participate in this thing. And we had kind of this event and it was a big success. So I took it a step further and I said, okay, let's make some teams. This is going to be esports. I love this idea of esports. No idea what Chart Raiders is at this point, but I want to build this video game and I like esports and let's make these teams. And I remember deep diving Reddit for weeks, finding this plugin that allowed people to stream to a private server and it would show their camera feed. So I would have them join Discord calls. I had set up separate channels for each team member, had to create custom roles in Discord so only the team members could join in. I had custom roles and we had 4 different teams. There was Team Mafia. There was all these people, everything from like, we had some Hollywood producers in there. We had actors, we had musicians, we had just kids. And it was just this like plethora of different people in these teams. And I had them all live streaming to a private server. I would grab all the feeds, bought multiple stream decks to make this work, tossed all the stream decks inside of one program. And it was just this big bandage setup. But in the end, it all worked out. I went live on Twitch and I was able to just hit one button at a time to change between every team's different feeds. We had 4 teams trading simultaneously. They all had a starting balance that they would have to have. I would have no way of auditing if they're cheating or whatever. It was just very like old school, brute rock style. Yeah, and it was fun and people loved it. And I would commentate these matches and I would go and be like, okay, Team Mafia just took a trade and they're $3 up now above Team Apocalypse. And what are they going to do next? And then I would pan to the other team and I'd go to the other team and I would talk about what they were going to do next. And it was fun. I got to be a commentator. The esports thing was great and people loved it. I would look at my community after and people would be hyped. They started living to watch these put together band-aided events that I was doing. And it was just like, okay, well, all of a sudden we kind of got this esports thing going on with multiple teams and people love it. And it just kind of grew from there. But I couldn't continue to do it because it was just being held together by twigs and strings. And, there was technical problems, but it made me realize that the commodity between traders is extremely high and that there's nothing that's going to stop esports from growing in this industry. So that was the moment I realized that esports, what I thought about esports being true in the future, that solidified it for me and really started my want to create something bigger than what we were looking at was just, software in its early stages.